I have this Singer 514, which has a weird handwell mechanism. So this is how to remove the handwell, how to replace this belt. Keep in mind there are actually two belts. I'll try to show you the second one. And the second one, the timing belt, which is more inside here, it's almost impossible to replace, but keep that in mind. So to access this thing, you want to remove the top cover, has two screws, this one, this one. Keep them in place because they are different models, so just make sure each one goes at its place. You need to remove the rear cover. There's again two screws, one at the bottom and one at the middle. Now this one in the middle, you only rotate it about two turns, and it stays there. You cannot remove it. Remove this one, which is a long screw, and after you remove this one and you unscrew this one, actually the cover should pop by itself. You see this screw here acts like a pin somehow. It goes right there, it has a hole, so it acts like a pin. When you put it back in place, you just push it to pop in the cover to lock this pin inside, and then just screw it by hand and put the other screw as well. Now here's how it goes. If we look at the top, you will see that the handwell actually comes with this metal part, with this kind of piece of metal that slides on the shaft, and there is a screw on top of it. Screw looks like this. You may want to rotate this 180 degrees to expose the head of the screw, because the head is only on one side. Now, I already did remove it. You can notice perhaps that hole is the hole on the shaft, and this one is the hole on the handwell. It's just that I didn't push the handwell back all the way in place. What you want to do is you are going to access, there's kind of a cut here in the chassis. So you are going to insert your screwdriver just like this, from the top to the bottom. Now, careful, you need a screwdriver. You want to select, it's a flat one, and you want to select the tip that is actually big enough to enter and just lock into the screws tight, not a loose one, not a thin one. So really you want to make sure the driver goes really tight into this screw head. I just cannot film it properly because this screw is actually pretty tight in there, so you don't want to round the head. So make sure you use correct screwdriver that fits well in the head of the screw, thick enough here at the tip. I just cannot give you an idea how thick it is, and just put pressure on the screw. Obviously put the screw at the top here, put pressure on the screw drive, push downwards with some force, and try to rotate it gently until you unlock it. You don't want to round the head, otherwise you won't be able to remove the handwell and the belt. Now, once you release the screw, it will stay in there. And this is a screw that goes through the shaft. So it goes into this hole, but also goes through the shaft. So until you fully remove the screw from there, you won't be able to remove the handwell. So because access is really annoying here from above to remove the screw, you won't be able to place your fingers. I did use this kind of thing to try fishing the screw from there. So you can film it. So I did try to grab the head of the screw after I did unscrew it and try to lift it, but you may drop it. If you drop it, I don't know if it's that much of a deal. You may drop it inside there, so you will need to remove the bottom plate. I'll put a video, the link perhaps in the comment section or at the end of this video to retrieve the screw. But I also suggest you try to get a wire like this and just make like a hook and make like a 40 degrees angle. So you just hook the screw. I try to do this one hand. You try to fish the screw and just hook it like this and lift it from there. It's not exactly easy to do, but you need to remove the screw completely. And after you remove the screw, here's how it goes. You have this is the motor. The belt will go by the motor shaft here. It really just slides off the shaft, but you will feel like it's stuck for some reason because it's just all there's. And by the way, never put any kind of lubricant on the belt, never ever. So what you want to do before removing the handwell, you need to just go gently with your finger and just slide the belt of the shaft here. Don't, how do I say this? Don't force on the belt, don't twist, just really go gently, maybe put 2 fingers around the shaft and just force a little bit, but really just slide it off the shaft. Once you slide the belt off the shaft, go here at the top. At this point, the screw is no longer there, but although the shaft does move like this, at first it will be stuck in there. So what you want to do, get your screwdriver and put it against the chassis, and the tip of the screwdriver is going to be, let me just see, is going to be just against this shaft, this handwell piece. So you are going to make a rotation movement and force this metal piece that has the handwell on it to just slide off by pushing against the chassis. So this is the movement, just like this. And that's how you, maybe can show you this, but it's going to feel like it's stuck at first. So that's how you, I'm going to push it towards the front of the sewing machine. That's how you push your handwell away from the shaft, and then it comes off, completely off. So again, this is the hole for the screw on the handwell side. This is the hole for the screw on this shaft side. And by the way, the screw does go through, let's see, I didn't put it back myself, but you will have, I think, yeah, you will have thread only on one side here. So notice perhaps that one hole it's with thread and it's smaller, and the other hole it's where the head of the screw will go, will sit. So basically you put the screw, you need to align them, and you need to align this the handwell and the hole in the shaft. I think the shaft could be either way, either like this or 180 degrees the other way. You just rotate it by hand, but the screw will go with the head on the big, sorry, the screw will go with the head on the, let's see, for you, the screw will go with the head on the big hole, the shaft will be there, and the screw will screw in on the small hole which contains the threads. Okay, so you just match the 2 holes with the one in the shaft. Let me show you how to remove and also how to put the belt back in place, because it's tricky as well. First, when you remove it, what you're going to do is rotate the hand knob and pull on the belt towards the outside. So this will have the belt rotate and move off the shaft. Don't pull too strong, just give it, and you notice I'm pulling on the side that is going toward the shaft, motor shaft, not on the other side. On this side I'm pulling slightly on the belt, which while turning the knob makes the belt comes off. This is how you undo it. And then when you place it back in place, don't be too stressed. Make sure, what's really important, at the corners here at the top, make sure the belt is fully seated and engaged at all point. If it's not engaged, you won't be able to do this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to engage the belt slightly on the right side here. And notice this, the way of rotation. I'm going to rotate the knob to advance the belt this way. And I'm going to engage it at the right side here just a little bit. It's difficult for me to film this because perhaps on this angle. So I'm going to engage it at the right side, and also the belt will travel this way, not the other way. So I'm going to rotate slightly the upper knob, the hand knob, and try to keep the belt engaged on the right side, and hopefully at some point it's going to pass fully. Don't force too much. You notice it did jump right on the shaft. So that's the idea. You rotate the knob. Let's see how to film this. You rotate the knob to advance the belt this way, only this way, and you try to engage the belt slightly on the right side, on this side of the shaft a little bit, and then keep pushing slightly on the belt towards the motor, and at some point the belt will just jump on the shaft. It may take a few tries, and the same way you want to push the belt more towards the motor, because it has to sit more near the motor, not this outwards. So I'm just pushing it now. It's going to place the belt more towards the motor, and that's the normal position of the belt. Let's see how it is from the side. So the belt sits really by the motor side, not by the shaft end side. It's tricky, give it a try. You are going to get it right, but it's just, yeah, you need to get the feeling of this. This is the belt. If I don't remember, if I don't forget, maybe I'll put your link to order the correct parts with the correct part number. Now, there is a second belt in there, and perhaps I can show you a little bit. It's right there. So it's a timing belt that goes from the bottom, and you can see it at the top. This belt, if you want to replace it or need to replace it, I believe you need to remove this entire shaft from the machine, because it's just in the center of the shaft. You cannot just remove the belt from there like this. So you will have perhaps to detach the shaft, to slide this shaft off somehow. I have no clue how to do that, but I'm going to link you a video how to remove the bottom cover, the cover underneath, if you want to or need to. When you put the screw back in place, try to tighten it pretty strong. When you put the screw back in place, just drop it with something like this, with a wire, or careful not to drop it inside the machine at the bottom, unless you remove the bottom plate to retrieve it.